Hi, I'm State Representative J.T. Wilcox. I'm the House Republican Leader down here in Olympia, and we are in the middle of what's called the House of Origin cutoff. We have 3 or 4 more days of floor action, and we've got 4 major fights on our hands right now. First of all, the one that is getting the most attention has to do with parental rights, and that's comprehensive sex education in schools. This is not what most people think about when they hear sex education. This is not the basics. This is way beyond the basics. And anybody who has looked at these sample lesson plans has been shocked. We're not going to take this without a fight, and it's going to be an extensive fight. We are going to offer amendments in committee. We're going to offer speeches in committee. We're encouraging the people of Washington to come in and participate in committee. And if it is voted out from that committee, then we are going to carry out the fight on the floor of the House. And we have a lot of tools at our disposal. It turns out the politics is about talking and making points and convincing the other side. Sometimes you convince them that they're wrong. Other times you convince them that winning this fight from their perspective will be too costly to them in the long run. And we're going to employ all of those strategies. And if it passes the House, then I think that you're going to see plenty of public outcry and asking the governor to veto it. Next, most of the bills that affect the Second Amendment failed to pass out of committee, thanks to lots of public involvement and I think effective work on the part of the House Republican caucus. The one bill that still seems to be a threat has to do with limiting the size of magazines on the most common self-defense weapons that are used for self-defense by people all across the state of Washington. This doesn't make sense. I think that the other side is beginning to see that, and if it does come to the floor in the House, you are going to see a very, very long debate in every parliamentary method used to slow this down or modify it. And it will then have to go to the Senate for final approval, where I think its fate is uncertain as well. We are seeing attacks on property rights, especially the rights of people that invest in rental property. And their mission in life is to secure their retirement and at the same time to offer one of the most important services available, and that is to provide housing for other people. And unfortunately, these property owners have been demonized, and the debate has really been about ideology instead of the practical realities of getting people into good housing. And lastly, there's going to be a fight about victims' rights, and that will be expressed in the governor's attempt to repeal the death penalty. I've said many times that it is a very different debate when someone like State Representative Jenny Graham is in the building. Jenny Graham's sister was a victim of the Green River Killer. Jenny is the only family member of a victim to spend extensive one-on-one time with Gary Ridgway, the killer. She is absolutely courageous, and she is also absolutely sure that only the threat of the death penalty forced Gary Ridgway to reveal the location of his victims and tell the story of the victims. That's a critical thing for Jenny Graham, and it's a critical thing for many victims. It's going to be a very different debate in the House when Jenny Graham is in the building. And I don't think that anybody should take it for granted that the death penalty will be repealed as long as she's in Olympia. Thanks, everybody.